Hello, and thank you for stopping by. I'm your host, Jerry-Royce, and welcome to Positive Power 21 Network, where you get your positive on. This is a worldwide podcast for growth, wealth, and success. Thank you.
Positive Power 21.org, Internet Radio.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to Positive Power. Welcome, everybody, to Positive Power 21. I'm the voice of Jerry-Royce. When it's all positive, it's all power. That's Positive Power. Today's sponsor of the Jerry-Royce Show tonight is C.C. Solomon, the author of The Mission. We have Rhonda Lawson, Twilight, and that's not about vampires. It's about a young teenage girl, so read it and learn it. Lisa Watson, she's a romance writer, and she has a series of books under the Match Broker series. And then we have our brand new sponsor coming up under our gold sponsorship, Career Image Solutions. They cover payroll, benefits, staffing, legal services, all your HR needs, and that'll be Reggie and Bianca, and we'll make sure we have that link out there pretty soon. We were still waiting on some information from them. And we want to thank yesterday's guest, Michael McGrew from Authors Rock. His books will be Room 111, Taking Losses, and My Kind of Girl. And recently he's released a book called Designing Relationships. Okay, so check him out. All right, everybody. And don't forget about the gold sponsors on our homepage. That'll be fasttechsolutions.com for your IT needs. Feel free to give them a call or check out their website. Get some quotes and find out how they can help you out and build a brand new infrastructure. Fine Dressed Man. On eBay, he carried Brooks Brothers, Nautica, Joseph Banks, and Pierre Cardin. All right, check them out. And that's for anybody who's trying to rebuild their wardrobe or want to add a touch of class to it. Most of those items are used, but in excellent condition. Then we have ZukiPetGifts.com. If you have a friend who's sick, or their pet is sick, or they just lost a pet, they make wonderful, wonderful gifts. All right, and thank you so much for your patience. And today on our show we have TAMIKA NEWHOUSE. She's a self-published, best-selling author who founded Delphine Publications at the age of 21. TAMIKA appeared on various bestseller lists and won Self-Published Author of the Year in 2009 African American Literary Awards, only 9 months after her debut novel. In 2010, she was inducted into Who's Who in Black San Antonio, and she landed a major publishing deal without an agent and still continues to write independent projects. In 2011, her company, Delphine Publications, won an African American Literary Award for Best Anthology, as well as TAMIKA won the second time Self-Published Author of the Year award. Whoa. She was also nominated by the National Women in Business Association for the 2011 Entrepreneurial Spirit Award. In 2013, she was honored with the Author of Distinction Elin Harris Award, and her latest award for the 2013 African American Literary Award for Self-Published Author of the Year. Wow. And she's also the founder and president of African Americans on the Move Book Club. And it's an online book club and radio show catering to avid readers across the nation. All right, and she has a brand new book out, and she's going to come on and talk about that book, and we're going to have a good time with her. And welcome to the show, TAMIKA. How are you doing today?
Hey, I am excellent. I'm great. How are you this evening?
I'm doing wonderful. I got a good nap in today, and I'm all fresh and ready to roll. All fresh.
All right. It's like about those midday naps. I love those.
That's right. Oh, look, I take a midday and I take pretty much a mid-evening because I guess after 6, the evening starts, and I lay my head down around maybe 7 o'clock, get up around 8, feeling good. All right.
All right.
Okay.
Man.
That's right, and I appreciate you coming on our show and spending some time with me and my audience. And
I appreciate you having me. I'm ready to have some fun.
Good. Now, you're a young person now. Now, all this stuff happened at a very early age of 21. So what are you about, 23, 24 now?
20, I wish. I'm 27.
27.
I'm 27 now. I'm about to say goodbye to the 20s. It's going to be bittersweet, but when I got into this business, I started African Americans on the Move Book Club, which you mentioned earlier, when I was 20. So I got into this business at the age of 20, and I used to lie all the time about my age because my peers and my colleagues didn't respect me when I told her my age. As soon as they found out I was that young, oh, she don't know nobody. She don't know nothing. She's a youngin'. So I used to lie about it. I used to hide my age. And by the time I reached 24, 25, I was like, you know what? Forget it. This is me. This is my age. It is what it is.
Right.
And sometimes I do know more than people who are double my age. You know, it is what it is. So now I just embrace it.
That's right. Do your thing. Now you have won a lot of awards. Wow, to be so young. I mean, you're out there doing your thing. You start now. Before we get started, I know I read a lot about you, on your bio, but I know some things that you probably didn't write that you're doing. Tell us a little bit about your background. What you was like in high school. Did you start out a writer? Were you a model? Because you're a beautiful young lady. I'm not sure how tall you are, but it looks like you're wearing 6-inch heels.
Yeah. I am 5'7". I'm 5'7". I like to call myself a model, but I'm not a professional model. I grew up a quiet and lonely child. I didn't have much friends. To this day, I really don't have a lot of friends. I was always different. I was always awkward. I never blended in with a lot of girls. And it's because I was made different. That's just how God made me. I wasn't a nerd. I wasn't awkward looking. I wasn't stinky or anything like that. I wasn't that weird child. I just did not fit in with any of the girls. And writing and reading was my best friend. I just kind of got lost in my own world with creating stories and things like that. And I've been writing since I was 8. I wrote my first novel when I was 12, and that was the year I spoke it into existence. I told everyone I was going to grow up to be a novelist, and that's what I believe. But I did become a mother at the age. I got pregnant at 15, becoming a mother at 16. And those dreams of becoming a writer kind of fell to the wayside because I had to grow up. I took care of my child. I went to school. I worked. And then my mother was sick. She had diabetes. So I would come home and I would do whatever I needed to do to assist her. And that was my life for the longest. I ended up marrying at the age of 18, moving away, calling myself trying to be loved and be grown. And even when I moved away, I took on a new role as someone's wife, having my second child when I was 20. And then again, going through the motions of what life is supposed to be, what people tell you what you're supposed to do. And although I did become a teen mother, that never really held me back. I graduated on time. I actually could have graduated early, but my mother being on disability and me being a dependent, she needed that government check from me every month. So I stayed in school longer so that she can qualify to get money from me every month so that she could take care of us. And so I just kind of took electives. I took classes I didn't even need. And then I worked, and then I came home, and I was a mother. And I forgot about my writing until my mother passed when I was 20. When I was 19, sorry. And that's when I wrote my debut novel, The Ultimate No-No. I wrote that book not knowing that was going to be the beginning of a new life for me. By the time I turned 20, going to 21, I discovered a whole new world of literature, other writers, other publishers, and that's when I discovered the art of self-publishing. And when I discovered that I could make my own dreams come true and I didn't have to wait for someone to do that for me, there was no holding me back. There's no such thing as waiting for somebody to say, oh, hey, Tamika, we're going to publish your book. Oh, no. I'm that type of person. I'm very impatient. And if I can do it, I'm going to find a way to do it. And that's what I did. And that's what I'm still doing.
That's right. Wow. So everything that you're doing right now is coming up under Delphine Publishing House, or some other things are developing right now for you?
Some other things are developing for me right now, but all of my projects have been under my own company. I did land a major book deal when I was, how old was I? I was 21. They took The Ultimate No-No, which was my very first book, and they relaunched it into mass market, putting it all over the world, everywhere. It was a really, really a lot of exposure for me. And I ended up landing that book deal simply because they saw what I did on my own. And which was crazy because I only been out for 9 months. But within that 9 months, I was so obsessive and so aggressive with this book game that I was surpassing so many people that had been in the book game for years. And I ended up meeting and shaking hands with some very important people. And I ended up landing that book deal, and that ended up opening a lot more doors for me. And now I have published nearly 50 books for other writers. I personally have written 10. And I'm still going, still pushing, still moving. I'm actually right now I've written 11 now, but the 11th one isn't published. So I am currently writing my 12th book right now.
Get out of here. All right.
Yeah.
Now, You said Ultimate No was the one that got you going?
Yeah, that was my first book. That was the gate opener for me. That's when it opened up all the doors, the Ultimate No. It ended up becoming a 4-part series for me. I thought it was my most successful and most that's what I'm most known for, which is the Ultimate No. But my most sold out book is Kisses Don't Lie, which was my 6th book. My Kisses Don't Lie is my biggest seller, and I didn't discover that until just recently when I had meetings with agents and publishers that's wanting to kind of work with me on this new book deal. And they wanted my numbers for my books, and that's when I discovered that my book, Kisses Don't Lie, is my biggest selling book. Nearly 30,000 people read that one.
You said 30,000?
Yeah, nearly 30,000 people have read that one book.
Wow. Now, did this happen before Kindle and ebooks became hot?
Oh no, Kindle and ebooks is what really helped push me to a whole different ball game. Is because when it came to paperback books, if you weren't on the bookshelves, if you weren't inside the stores, it was a lot harder. So I had to get out there and do the footwork myself. I had to pretty much reach out to every individual bookstore to get my books in the stores. And when it comes to ebooks, I can reach millions just by the internet, just by one click. And so ebooks have done a tremendous turnaround for me in my career, and I've been able to reach hundreds of thousands of readers, and I'm really, really excited about that.
Wow, that is incredible. Yeah, I was about to say, how did you get your hustle on with that book? Now, when did you discover the number? You didn't actually know yourself. These guys found out?
I didn't know. Well, I would know myself by going into my accounts and looking. I just never really kept count. I always just did a ballpark. And just recently I went and calculated all of my book sales, and I was kind of shocked. I was like, wow, okay, I did all this on my own. What could I do with a publisher? You know, so I've sold hundreds of thousands of books. My personal book sales are within the 6 figures of my own titles. But my company titles, if my titles are in the 6 figures and I've had other authors whose books are just as successful as mine, you can imagine what my company look like. So eventually I'm going to sit down and calculate that number, but I got to take a weekend and do that to see what exactly that number is. But I'm pretty sure it's up there. It's a pretty nice looking figure.
It sounds like you might need Career Image Solutions to help you with a decent accounting system.
Yeah. I mean,
you don't want to get in trouble. Wow. But since you're moving them all over the place, it's kind of hard to track them on those several systems, because you probably run them on several online bookstores, right?
Oh yeah. So what the numbers I'm talking about is the actual numbers of books sold. Now, when it comes to like the profit margin and doing that with the IRS and all that, that's not an issue. I've just never sit down and calculate how many books I've sold in my career span. I've never sat down and 15 years of books being sold. But yeah, I definitely know my income now. Like, I know my money.
That's right. I hear you.
know what's coming in and what's going out.
All right. So let me ask you, so Tamika, so talking about, people listening now, they trying this thing. They out there independently, starting their own brand. What was your magic? What was the secret to your magic, your success?
There's no magic and there's no secret to success. I always tell people you can be successful with 2 characteristics, and that's obsession and consistency. You have to really be passionate and obsessed about what your dream is. Make your passion your paycheck. And then you can't half-ass do it. You got to really kind of push forward, and you got to stay on it. I don't care if it takes you 5 years, 2 years, 3 years, 10 years. If you give up, you're never going to get it anyway. So you have to find obsession in what it is that you want to do, which means that that's the only thing you're thinking about. And it's a healthy obsession. It's not one of those obsessions where everything is neglected. This is a healthy obsession because it's something that's going to make you better. It's something that's going to generally make you happy. And obviously, if you stay consistent with it, you're going to get there. Eventually, there's no way. What level of success? We don't know, because no one can define that but God. But people need to always understand, too, that success isn't measured by a dollar sign either. Right. So you can't really kind of say that, I'm successful because I made $100,000 this year. You really can't say that. I never measured success by a dollar sign.
Good, good. All right. Now you have other authors under your name, and you say you think a few of them are more successful than you are. Is that because of you, or they taking on the same characteristic as the owner of the company?
It is definitely solely because of most of it is from my guidance, but it is a collective effort. No way can these artists be successful without a collective effort. I'm not going to sit here and say it's all because of me, and I'm not going to sit here and say it's all because of them. We all play a part. We all play a role together when they decide to come under Delphine Publications. But a lot of it obviously is because of my guidance and because of my leadership, because I've been there, done that, and I know what I'm doing. And each author that I work with, I actually work alongside with them. I always tell people I publish brands, not just books. So every author that I do work with, they get to know the game, they learn the business. I refer to them on a lot of different things. They're involved with their projects as far as their covers. They're involved heavily in the editing part. We go over their marketing plan, their tour schedules, all of that. I really build brands and career artists. That is my goal.
All right. Now, when your authors come on board, can they just say goodbye to their jobs, or you say, no, we're just going to work on the weekends?
Oh, of course you can't say goodbye to your job, because you have to build yourself to a point where you're having so much income coming in where it balances out what you're bringing in with your government job. And that doesn't necessarily happen overnight, and it definitely doesn't happen with one book. You definitely have to put in your work, and you have to put in your time to where you get to that point where you can't just leave your job and this could be the only thing that you're doing. So it's kind of like with any other entertainer. You definitely want to quit your job when you first starting out a new venture. And if you're under a publisher, obviously distributors and publishers have to get their cut before you even get yours. And so you have to kind of really build up your readership, and you have to build it into your career before you even think about doing that.
That's right. All right. That is so nice. Wow, you are so successful. Now, I know some other things you're doing, and we're going to get into that, but I want you to tell us, which one of these books are your favorite?
Oh, my gosh. My favorite book that I have written is called Cookie, A Footwear Story. That is a book that is loosely based off my own personal life. It's a coming-of-age story, an urban tale of a teen girl going through the motions of life. Deals with sex, murder, Christianity, love. All of that is in this book. It's just life. It kind of reminds you of a softer version of The Coldest Winter Ever. And I enjoyed that book the most because I'm most connected to it. I'm most connected to who Cookie is. Yeah. Cookie, A Footwear Story is my most loved and cherished project.
Wow. And then you have Cookie 2.
I have Cookie 2 Lyric Song is the spin-off novel to Cookie. It's based on her sister Lyric, which that book is also truth, based on a true story.
Wow. Now, what does your audience look like? Tell us a little bit about that. Have you met them? You seen a lot of them? Talked to them?
My audience? I'm on tour a lot.
Space.
Yeah, I tour a lot, and I meet my readers a lot. And I see them. I get to know a lot of them. A lot of them are very supportive with me. They follow me on my social media sites. And when I do travel, I am to the point now where I'm grateful that where people are actually coming to this particular event or coming to this location to get an autographed book, to get the latest book, or to get a picture and things like that. I'm going into my 7th year now. And my readership is very, very strong. I'm kind of really, really excited about it. But they're mainly African-American women. I do have some white readership as well. I do have a few males sprinkled here and there. The males may come and buy for their mothers or sisters or wives or cousins or whatever. But, yeah, I meet them all the time, and they are really, really they are really excited. It's weird. I never really get used to it because I am still TAMIKA. I like to look at myself. I'm just me. But these people, they get really excited, and they want pictures, and they want autographs, and sometimes it's overwhelming, and it can be a little bit uncomfortable for me because I'm not. I don't know if I ever get used to it. I don't know. I don't know if I get humble. It gets uncomfortable because I'm like, well, it's just me, you know. So I don't know, it's just me.
That's right.
So I don't understand why you're acting like. And then sometimes success could be, it could be an awkward subject depending on who you're talking to. And I can't talk to everyone openly about my level of success because then it will come off as being cocky or being arrogant, or people don't know how to embrace your success. So I never really, sometimes I don't talk about it unless people ask. Because sometimes you'll hear people say, oh, she thinks she all that. And I'm like, no, you think I'm all that. That's why you just said it. I hate when people say that. You know, I'm not walking around town saying Tamika's all that, Tamika's all that. You actually think that of me. And sometimes our own peers are not as warming or supportive. We actually kind of push each other down. We're not really lifting each other up. And everybody's trying to get to the top when everybody's not even meant to be at the top. It's different levels of success, and people don't really understand their roles or their purpose. And that's really kind of hard, you know, to swallow. Some people don't really know how to embrace that. Yeah, and
I think you deserve it. I mean, you've been through a lot at a very early age. I mean, you took care of your mom. You attended school. You took care of your child at a very young age, your second child, your husband. So, you know, you're at the point where you deserve this, and maybe God knew you can handle this. And obviously, you are handling it. Sound like you are handling your business. And I think your fans know who you are. They know you're real, and that's why they're supporting you in large numbers. Very good.
I agree. I'm just gonna co-sign with you. I ain't gonna say. I'm gonna say you said that to me and say
that. Well, I'm proud of you. I'm glad I have an opportunity to talk to you on the show and have our audience, the people who don't know you, because you classify your writing as what, urban lit? Is that how you classify yourself?
Yeah, just contemporary fiction, women's fiction. And if I'm trying to be funny, sometimes I call them man-bashing books. You know, I write about the bad things that you guys do, you know, because you guys are always doing wrong. So I expose that a little bit.
That's right. We gotta keep life interesting. That's why.
Yeah, I mean, I write about the ugly part of love because, I mean, people don't want to. Everybody falters. Everybody's human, and what people fail to realize is that if you love someone, eventually they're going to hurt you. Whether they're your children, your sister, your brother, your mother, your uncle, whatever. If you love them, at some point they're going to rub you the wrong way. They're going to hurt your feelings. They may break your heart. And it's simply because they are human. And humans make mistakes. We are not perfect. And we're not going to always make the decisions that you feel that we should make. Something's always going to go wrong simply because we're human. We were made that way. The Bible even says that we're going to sin regardless. And I hate when people say, I hate love. Love did this and love did that. And I'm like, no, the person you love did that. The person you love did this. It's not love, it's the people. So people get it confused. And that's why I don't really like when people say, I give up on love. Love hurts. Right. You know, love is too hard. It's not. It's not love. It's the people. And once you understand and realize that the people that you love are human, are going to make mistakes, and they will hurt you eventually. It's inevitable. It's going to happen because they're human. Then I feel that people can kind of learn how to forgive and be better. Overall, all around, be a better person.
That's right. Now, in Kisses Don't Lie, your main character, what's her name? Kayla? Is that Kayla? Kyla. Now, Kyla, was she kind of, I mean, tell us a little bit about her. I mean, was she really in love, I mean, with her man? I mean, and he hurt her?
Kyla fell in love with the main character, Dean, at a very young age, of a high school sweetheart. And you know how that young love is. And these characters were mature enough to say, well, we're going to break up because we're going to be going to different colleges clear across the country, and we don't want to really hold each other back. We want to be able to experience life. And so they agreed to do that. But Kyla held a secret. And she actually fell for it and was in love with someone that was really close to Dean, and she wasn't really supposed to cross that line. So this is where the drama comes in. And I always, not always, but a lot of times I do write in my female characters as they make a mistake. They may be the one that have cheated. They may be the one that lied. Because cheating and lying is not a man thing. That's a people thing. And I like to expose that in both genders. And so with Kyla, when Kyla and Dean reunite 10 years later, all these secrets start to resurface. And you kind of see if they're going to have a second chance at love or not. So, yeah, Kyla really did love Dean, but she was human, you know, and she was young. And then when we're young, we actually make a lot of mistakes, but we don't even realize that until we're old, which is crazy. We don't really realize I was stupid. I really wasn't in love with that person like I thought I was, and we don't really realize until years later.
That's right. Now, all of your female characters, are they real powerful women, or you have some who didn't attend college or didn't make it out of high school?
I have some. A lot of my women are educated, but my books have a multiple amount of characters. It may have like 10 characters or something. So it may be a blend of someone who just works, just a regular everyday job, someone that may be high-powered, a lawyer, a doctor, or a couple of my characters have been writers like of myself. Several of my characters also have been dark-skinned, and I do that on purpose because I get tired of the stereotype that comes along with skin complexion. So a lot of times my leading ladies are dark-skinned. But, yeah, I blend it in. And then sometimes I have women who are sorry. They won't do anything. It just depends on the government, for help, and doesn't aspire to do anything extra. That's a whole other topic. So it's a blend. It's always a blend of when it comes to my female characters.
All right. Now, we had a little discussion early in the show about I guess this is your latest book coming from a publishing house, and we was talking about that. It was Trust No N-Word, Part 1. And you said, you had no control of that. And tell us a little bit about that project and what transpired in that relationship, that business relationship.
Well, I was really good personal friends with the publisher, and he came up with that title, Trust No N, and he thought of me when it came to that title because it was controversial and it's different. I'm not so racy or so blunt in my book titles. But however, I do use that word in my everyday life. I use it quite not often, but quite a lot. And when he told me about it, I was like, well, what about just calling it Trust No Man? And that's kind of boring. Really, this is really not a attention getter. And with my name in my readership, in my history, people would take a double look and they'd be like, wait a minute, what this book is about? She titled her book that, and it's not really what people think. It does deal with women falling in love with the wrong man, but I also give more of an in-depth on why they fall in love with these type of men and why they choose to stay or how they get out. And then I choose to show the man's side and why they act that way and why they do this and why they do that. But Trust No N was borderline what you call street literature. And I blended it with my own writing style, which is just contemporary romance with street, and I blended it together. And I came up with a really, really good title. The publisher's purpose was to challenge me, to challenge my writing, for me to do something different. And I was kind of bored with my writing. I even thought about quitting writing for a little bit and just stick to publishing for the moment, because I didn't have anything that was challenging to me right at that moment. And he came to me with that project and that title, and I said, you know what? Okay, well, let me see what I can do with it. And I did something so wonderful with that, and I have gotten great reviews, and and when I go and do my signings now, and they see that title, they pick it up and say, "What's this book about?" And 9 times out of 10, they will buy it.
Whoa. Now this book is taking place in the streets of Atlanta. Now, I've seen a couple of movies. I saw a movie recently. I'm still kind of confused about these movies, and maybe you can help me out. I wish I had the title. It's those books where the guys are carrying a video camera around, and they're videotaping all their crime sprees and everything, their gang life, just hanging out. It showed them out on drive-bys. Do you know what that's about?
I do not know what that's about. I think I kind of know what show you're talking about, but it's not too many shows I kind of tap into. And then you got to understand, Atlanta is like Hollywood. It's so much stuff going down here, and so many shows being filmed and movies being filmed, and it's like Hollywood. If you want to be a writer, a model, a makeup artist, a playwright, a director, a singer, I mean, you don't even have to go to L.A. or New York anymore. You can come to Atlanta.
I see. That's right. Because I think this was the second flick I saw where these guys had a video camera, and they was just showing everything they did every day. They had one guy taping it, drive-bys, you name it. I have to get the title of that book. But it was so interesting. I'm wondering, is this stuff really happening, or they making you think that it's really happening? It just messed me up.
No, it's a lot that goes on in Atlanta. Like the Hollywood part and the stars, things you see, all that is here. But then like the crime aspect of it and the games and the poverty, all that is still here in Atlanta too. It's just different world. It's all here in one different world.
And I've been there a couple of times, and everything is so spread out. Atlanta is so big. It's like you have to really drive to get the stuff, to get to downtown, Buckhead, and all them places. You have to take that drive.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I live in like Marietta. There's like so many different cities around Atlanta. Mm-hmm. Atlanta really is only almost 2 million people, but the metropolitan area is over 6 million. So a lot of people that live here don't really even live in Atlanta. A lot of the celebrities don't even live within the Atlanta city. They live in like Roswell or Sandy Springs or Kennesaw. Like they stay off the little suburb area.
Yeah, real nice. And they got the big super malls and all that good stuff. Huh?
Oh, yeah. You got the malls where, you can go to a mall. I can go back to a mall back home in Texas, and you see, like, the cars that on display where you can enter into a contest, and the car may be like $30,000 or $40,000, maybe like a little Ford or something. You go to a mall here in Georgia, the cars that are on display are six figures. Some even tap into like $1 million. And sometimes I just walk into it, I just want to touch it. It's like, let me touch it. Because I know I'll never be able to drive a car that costs this much, but let me just touch this car. Those are that's kind of malls that are here in Atlanta. Yeah.
Wow. So it's really taken off. Wow. And they said ATL was going to get there, and it's there now. So all the stories are coming to Atlanta now. That's right. Yeah, now where's your largest readership? Are you aware of those numbers?
No, my largest readership is definitely in the South. It's my southern states, Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia, and Florida, going into the Carolinas. That's where my heaviest readership is at. Really, that's where a lot of, that's where pretty much where the souls of black people was at anyway, which is the South.
That's right. You're right.
Yeah.
Because I noticed back in 06, 07 when I was rocking the talk show, I remember my numbers were really big in the Texas area where the book clubs were. They had large book clubs.
Yeah. Yeah, the number one for readership is Raleigh, North Carolina, which is interesting. Yeah.
Get out of here. All right, let's talk about the other side of you that maybe some people don't know. Now, you're a speaking coach, a speaker and a coach. Tell us a little bit how you got into that. I know being successful, people are going to want to know how you got there and what happened.
Right. Well, it's basically dealing with, because I took on the role. When I started AAMBC, which is the African Americans on the Move Book Club, I stepped into that role of being a publicist and being an outlet for other authors. And that's why I ended up meeting so many publishers and authors and agents and whoever you can think of in this industry. I met them because I created that platform unknowingly, knowing what it was going to end up becoming. And I ended up learning the business a lot through that format. And then I took on the role of being a publisher. And I studied and I perfected my craft. And I ended up being solicited, or people sought me out for questions about how to do this and how to do that. And then to top that all off, people were impressed, or they gravitated to the fact that I did start a company at 21, but on the flip side, I was a teen mother. And so they wanted to kind of expose that part of me. So I speak on the business part, letting people know how to do it, how to publish, how to brand, how to stand out. And then I speak on the personal end, womanhood, entrepreneurship, motherhood, teen pregnancy, following your dreams. I speak on a lot of different things. And this year, I am being brought to a lot of different conferences and events and expos just to speak. And I can't front. I like to talk about me. I think talking about me is pretty interesting. So when I'm being asked to go speak, I'm like, sure. All I need is this, and I'm there. And I will get it these days because it took me a long time to do that, though. I remember back in 2011, I went on a 30-day road trip. And it was completely funded by myself. I got in my car in Texas and drove all across the country, all the way up to New York City. And I got on the road with very little money in my pocket with just plans to make money on the road. I ended up running out of money on the road. I had to stay with friends and colleagues and things like that. That's the type of story that I tell people, because this is not a joke. If you want it, you really have to go after it. And I went after it and then some. Like I was in New York with no money. I had to look at the bookstore and be like, hey, can you go ahead and pay me for these books? I left them with $80 to drive down into Maryland. And then that $80 I had to pay for tolls. And just to get out of New York, it cost $12. So you know I'm calculating, right? It costs $12 to get out of New York. I'm sitting here with only $80. I got to put gas in the car, and I have to make it to Maryland because there's a colleague that's going to let me sleep in her basement. And so I have somewhere to sleep, but I have to make it to Maryland, you know? So those are the stories that I tell, and I don't shy away from it at all, because I don't regret it. Everything that I did, I would do it again.
Wow, that is incredible. Wow, so you definitely had to get your hustle on early. Wow.
Yep, I did.
All right, yeah, because I was looking at some of the topics that you speak on, like pursuing your dream. So when you talk about pursuing your dream, would you just tell them don't have no fear, just go after it, don't let nobody stop you? Do you talk about creating your own circle? Tell me a little bit about what you say in your speech on pursuing your dream.
When I tell people about pursuing their dreams, I always tell them the characteristics they have to develop, which is obsession and consistency. But then you have to understand what it is that you want to do. Okay, I want to design clothes. Okay, that's great. How do you do that? You can't sit here and tell me that it's something that you want to do, but you have no idea how to do it, and then you take on no efforts on discovering on how to do it. You have to really go and study your craft, and you have to invest in yourself, even for anybody to really take you seriously, even yourself. And I always tell people that no one can really support you and promote you better than yourself. If you're not willing to invest in yourself, how can you even create and push a product and expect people to buy that product and invest in you? So I think that's kind of retarded. If you don't want to invest in yourself, why should you expect for other people to? So that's pretty much just overall what I tell people to, when it comes to pursuing your dreams.
That's right. And then Marketing 101, steps to promote my novel. How you explain that to somebody? You got a young teen looking at you, and they just told you they want to be a software designer.
Oh, they want to be, obviously, if you want to be a software designer, I'm like, okay, well, how do you take the steps to be a software designer? And then once you discover the steps on even how to do that, what is the first step on how you get started? So, of course, once you know how to do it, how do you begin? And then once you begin, you have to keep yourself motivated, and you have to kind of stay focused just to finish it out. You have people that will start something and don't even finish it. And then overall, once you finish it, well, how are you going to make money from it? And I always tell people, find ways to make your passion your paycheck. So it's pretty much, I kind of just go over those basic little steps to begin with, and then we kind of talk about it more in depth. And usually I do like a Q&A, so whoever's in the audience will kind of personalize it for their own story.
That's right. Very good. Now I like that one piece here, topic, from teen mom to CEO. Why isn't that a book?
Why isn't that a book? People keep asking me that. I did a feature. Actually, I got that because I did a feature in Essence magazine, which they titled my feature "From Teen Mom to CEO." I haven't written that book because I don't feel like my story is done being told. I feel like I have a lot more to offer before I sit down and actually write a book like that. And right now, I'm just not interested in writing a book like that. I don't know. I know I should. I know I could. But I just don't think that the season right now is for it. When the season comes and it's time, I will do it.
But sitting here in my studio listening to you, you sound like a great movie right now. A great movie. You do. I mean, you're at the age now where people are at right now, still not knowing what they want to do. I mean, you're pretty much climbing. You're still climbing.
I'm still climbing because what else would I do? I'm a horrible employee. I'm horrible. I get fired from almost every other job that I've ever had in my teens and my 20s. I got fired because I showed up late, I didn't want to do the job. I cussed out the boss. I cheated on my time sheet. Whatever the case may be, I was horrible. I was a bad employee. So I have no choice but to work for myself. I'm being really, really honest. I'm horrible. I suck. So I have to work for myself. I always say, what else would I do? It's depressing to think about what else would I do if I wasn't doing this. I don't know what I would do. I have no idea, because this is what I'm supposed to be doing. My motto is writing. I didn't choose to be a writer. Writing chose me. That I was supposed to be a writer. I was born to do that. Nowadays, because publishing is made so easy, you have so many people who are natural-born writers coming into this industry because they see it's an easy hustle. This is not a hustle for me. This is my bread and butter. This is how I make a living. This is something I was supposed to do. This is what I was meant to be. And I'm not a hustler, so I'm not coming out with mediocre plots and mediocre stories or these short stories that are supposed to be novels. I'm not doing that. And you have an abundance of people coming into this industry every day writing books, and then they're not meant to write a book. And all it does is just water down the industry, and it splits up the readership, and it makes my job very, very hard.
Yeah, now you got to try to sell them that you're not one of those. Wow. Now, do you think you're going to ever see one of these books on the silver screen?
I could, of course. But that's not up to me. I can aspire to do that all day long. If it's not written for me, if it's not my purpose, it will never happen.
That's right. Now, if you had a choice to pick one, which one would it be?
Of course, I would want stage plays. I would want the silver screen. I would want the television series. I would want the production company, and then eventually I would want my own network.
Get out of here. All right. Now, I'm looking at the Ultimate No-No. Was that part 4?
Yes.
Is that you on the cover? Is that you?
That is me.
And that must be your favorite fabric.
I mean, that was my designer did that cover without me even knowing I was going to be put on the cover. And when she sent it to me, I was like, wow, okay, that's how I use it. I didn't even – it's not like Tamika said, you know what, I'm going to put myself on my own cover. That's not what happened. Like, she did that because we did a photo shoot together. She took one of those pictures, she put it on my cover, and I said, you know what, that's hot. Let's roll with it. And that's what happened.
That's right. It's beautiful, though. All right.
Thank you.
I like it. I really do like that. I like it.
Thank you.
All right. Let's ask you a few questions here. I'm gonna say a couple words, and you just tell me, what's your favorite. All right. Favorite city?
Washington, D.C.
Oh, yeah, Chocolate City. Designer?
Michael Kors.
Michael Kors. Your favorite car?
The Audi.
You like Audis too? Oh, I love that car.
I went and got me an Audi last year. Yeah, I went and got my car that I wanted.
Oh, you did get one?
Yeah, I went and got one. No, so now I'm going to be getting a Range Rover next. Going to get that next.
All right. So which Audi do you own? The A7?
The A6.
The A6. That is a very nice car. Very nice. I was just looking at one today. All right. Your favorite movie, if you have time?
Love and Basketball.
Love and Basketball. That is a good movie. Very good movie.
Yeah,
and last question, your favorite book?
Oh, wow. Friends and Lovers by Eric Jerome Dickey.
All right. And that's Tamika Newhouse. Now, Tamika, I want you to, we're about to close the show. One last thing you have to say to a young person listening to this show, or a parent who's struggling with pursuing their dreams, what would you say?
You got to understand that nobody writes your story but you. So anybody can tell you whatever they want. They can tell you you're going to do this, you're going to do that, you ain't going to be this, you ain't going to be that. If you choose to not do something in your life, you have no one to blame but you. There is ways, and there's always a way to go about anything that you want. You just have to be willing to put in the work. And if you're not willing to put in the work, it's not going to happen, boo. Nothing worth having comes easy. And I know you probably heard that statement time and time again, and it's very, very true. A lot of people never make it because they can't handle the sacrifices it takes to get successful. But I would rather struggle and live like a slave today and do that for like the next 5 years and eventually live like a queen for the rest of my life. The odds is great. 5 years of struggle, a lifetime of bliss, and you choose.
All right. Now, if I was your pastor, your brother, your father, your next door neighbor, I'll be so proud of you. So proud of you.
Thank you.
Very good, very good. I'm so glad you came on my show. I don't know how I deserved all of this, but I am grateful. I am grateful.
Well, I am glad you're grateful, and thank you so much for having me. Let me shout this out. Anyone who wants to find me on the internet, everything is my name. My website's TAMIKA NEWHOUSE. That's TAMIKA, and Newhouse like I bought $1 million new house. My Instagram is Boss Lady Tamika. My Facebook is Boss Lady Tamika Newhouse, and my Twitter is Tamika Newhouse. So you can, if you all else, just Google my name, Tamika Newhouse.
That's right, Tamika Newhouse. I didn't choose writing. Writing chose me. That's right. Amen. And you, God bless you. So glad to have you on the show. And this, everybody, you want to reach out to her, we'll have her books on our site. Go ahead and click it. If you're not a follower of her, like she said, Tamika, that's TAMIKA, Newhouse, and she's all over the internet. And I want to thank you again, Tamika, for coming on PositivePower21.org.
Thank you so much, love.
You're welcome. And ladies and gentlemen, continue to browse our website and check out all the past guests that we have on our show. Again, we want to thank Mr. Michael McGrew from our California with Authors Rock for coming out on our show, and check out his new book coming out called Designer's Relationship. Take care, everybody, and don't forget about Spreaker.com. Please follow us. Jerry is trying to get on XM Radio. Have a good one, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we're ending. Thank you for tuning in to the Positive Power 21 Network. Team 21 would like to thank you all for tuning in, and please spread the word and tell a friend. This is Jerry-Royce at Positive Power 21, where we get our positive on.